Hey, welcome back to Bridal Sewing Techniques. And today we're going to talk about my project that I've been working on for the past 6 months. I have been refurbishing this family treasure that no longer worked. It's a Singer 66 treadle, and I refurbished it into what is now an elegant workhorse that does a specialty sewing job for my bridal sewing studio. What you're seeing right now is the before footage. So in the end, I'm going to do a grand reveal and show you what this beautiful lady looks like when I'm done. I am honestly so very excited. So first we're going to start with the most common problem. Usually the leather belt that drives the treadle has stretched out over time. So you can get a new leather belt. You can buy them online or wherever. I usually get it from my local industrial supply shop. But basically you just snip it, repuncture the hole, and tighten that staple down. Now, I did remove the bobbin winder. We're going to talk about that later, why I did that and why I did not put it back on. So I bagged everything up, threw everything that was in the drawers, just tucked it away. Everything that I'm doing, well, that's interesting. Interesting way of fixing that. Everything that I'm doing is fairly reversible. Now, do notice that I am refurbishing this, restyling it. I'm making it into what I need it to be for my sewing shop. This is not a historically accurate restoration. That was not my goal. This is actually a little more exciting than that for me, because I feel like I would use this more. It would be more usable for me if it was exactly how I need it to be for my shop. Now, let me explain. In a very broad sense, home sewing machines nowadays are very often multifunction. They can do a lot of different things, not all that well, but pretty well. Commercial machines nowadays mostly can do one thing really well. That's a feed dog, by the way. I'm going to explain in a little bit why I removed that. Anyways, back to the story. I really love commercial machines, things that are set up to do one thing really well, millions and millions of times. And I wanted this machine to serve that purpose. I wanted it to do one thing for my bridal salon and be my go-to machine for that. So here I am. I've stripped it down with sanding, degreasing, more sanding, painting, more sanding, and getting a nice, beautiful finish on it. 3 layers thick. I did buy some new decals from online. I had a great experience with them. I'll link to all these things down below, by the way. So I did a little something different with the decals. Like I said, I'm taking my artistic liberty. You could do all of these steps and do a restoration if you want. But I decided that I want this to be two-tone, and I chose gold decals and silver decals. So, you know, most of the machines just, if it had a gold decal, then all of the decals were gold, right? Not this one. I really want this machine to be gorgeous. So when I'm done, I want it to fit my vision, and I want it to look beautiful in my shop. So I did swap out the balancing wheel from the plain kind to the spoked wheel. And that way I could make this also hand crank. So I did find a vintage hand crank online. Instead of stripping it and varnishing it, I did decide to just do a white wax. I did this for a couple of reasons. One, I've done this before on antique furnishings, and it's just beautiful to me. I love it. I also love the way that it shows wear, almost kind of like the feeling of patina or whatever, but it's with the white and the dark wood. I love the way that it shows wear so quickly. It just gives whatever piece you have a lot of character. So I'm in love with the white wax, even though I know this is probably not the way most of you would use it. I did replace the knobs. I cleaned out the locking mechanisms as well. And I went ahead and hooked that belt back up. And let's look at her. Obviously, you can sew with just the regular Gutermann thread. That is not my final goal. Remember, guys, we're doing a custom machine that does one job. So for this little fun photo shoot, I did have a regular spool on there, but we didn't keep that very long. I put some invisible thread on there on a thread stand that I mounted to the table. And you can see the way I rigged that up. I like to slip a little piece of nylon over it so it doesn't unravel. And I'm feeding it through these two clear little wonder clips that are in the post that you would normally put your thread on. And this is why I got rid of the bobbin winder. Number one, I didn't think it was very pretty, but also I'm going to always hand wind my invisible thread. I know we had a discussion about that in the comments last week. I don't like to machine wind it. I feel like that is really almost like a secret weapon in having perfect tension with your invisible thread, is to loosely hand wind that. So as you can tell, I put an applique foot on this machine, and I left the feed dogs out, so there's no gripping. If you want to leave your feed dogs in, you can buy a plate that you screw over your feed dogs, but I don't want to do that. I just want to always do this applique stitch. And look at how beautiful it is. It just looks like someone has traced out or drawn those flowers. You really cannot even tell that the gown has been altered. It looks so authentic. I love that I can operate this as a treadle, and I can also operate this hand crank. And I was so happy to find that all of the locks work. I was able to, with the help of the internet, you can search what your keyhole looks like with a little flashlight. You look in there and see the shape of it, and the interwebs, the powers that be in the interwebs, will direct you to what kind and shape of key you need for your table, because this key was long gone, right? So I found this key on eBay and replaced the key, and now I can lock it. Now, for those of you that are wondering about what kind of clearance can we get with the old Singer 66, we can get a lot of clearance. Yay! Also, keep in mind, if you want to search and find out when was your machine born and where, you can do a Google search on your Singer serial number. I showed you mine at the beginning of the video. It'll show you when your machine was born, what city it was born in, and that's just good fun, you know? So here's some detail shots. I am very happy with this hand crank. I got the hand crank on eBay. Again, I'm going to link to everything down below. And I got the spoke wheel from a specialty shop that I found by Googling. So here you can see my machine is threaded with invisible thread. And hopefully that's all she will ever be thread with for many years to come. Isn't she a beauty? I'm so happy. I'm so happy with her. I know a lot of you out there are purists when it comes to singers and you want to restore them to be historically accurate. Maybe someday I will go for a restoration, but right now I am very happy with this project. Can you help me name her in the comments down below? Thank you.